Hello YouTube, this is WolfHunter52 here, and I figured I would take a minute to talk about a Diablo wizard build in the new patch 2.2.0 involving the brand new set, Delsere's Magnum Opus, and also a helm called the Crown of the Primus. I'm going to start by showing some items that I have, and then I'll go over the skills that I'm using and why you should use them. Alright. Now, what you're trying to do, first, before you can do anything, even think about using this build, you need the 6 set bonus of the Delsere set. Now, with the Crown of the Primus, which it's a new item from the new patch, its special ability is slow time gains the effect of every rune. Now, this I cannot tell you how helpful this has been in my playthroughs so far, but the problem with having the Crown of the Primus is that obviously you can't use the helm of the Delsere set, which, as you see, the Shrouded Mask is the only piece I'm not wearing. So, if you want Crown of the Primus, you're gonna have to opt for a Ring of Royal Grandeur. Mine didn't roll too well. I mean, it's acceptable. A 497 intelligence roll and 7% attack speed. I was trying to get the 6% critical hit chance, but it hasn't re-rolled like that for me yet. I was running the Talrasha 2 set bonus, and I'll probably do a video talking about the Talrasha set in the coming days. But I couldn't find the amulet for Talrasha. As you see, I'm currently running an ancient legendary Hellfire amulet, and because of that, I got the Astral Presence passive, which this build requires you to spam Frozen Orbs, so you're going to be cutting through your Astral Power, or your Arcane Power, rather, sorry. And even with Magic Missile, which will be your other damage spender in this build, even with that regenerating your primary resource, it's not going to do... I mean, there will be times where you're going to have to spam Magic Missile and not be able to use your orb. That just happens. The reason I stopped using Talrasha's 2 set was I found this new Triumvirate. And you probably can't see real well. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a rookie with this and all. Don't have the computer capability to run Diablo and to and record that. So I'm kind of ghetto rigging this right now. But my Triumvirate, it rolled 705 intelligence, 688 vitality, and an 8% increase in critical hit chance, which is the lowest roll. You can get 10, but I'm not real picky. I had to re-roll one of the primary stats for a socket, and so I just threw a topaz in there to try and make up for that. And it was actually better in everything but toughness than my Talrasha orb. And when I took the topaz I had in there out, it was better. So, also, its special ability is your signature spells increase the damage of Arcane Orb by 84% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Now let's do a little bit of math. 84 times 2 is 168. And 84 times 3 is, let's see, 2 carry the 1. 252% damage for 6 seconds. And it stacks up to 3 times. And since you're spamming Magic Missile a bunch, you basically build up this 3 ticks in no time. So that's not even a problem. The other ring I'm running, and I know a lot of people will be like, oh, if you're not running Tall Rashes, why are you running a convention of elements? Well, my ring, out of the 200% increased damage to a single element, I rolled 185%. And every time it turns to the cold damage, or lightning damage, which is what my Thunder Fury here does, I notice a significant damage increase. And that's pretty good. I'm enjoying that greatly. Now, excuse me while I identify these items. I just finished a rift. These new shoulders are better than my current shoulders. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna put those on. Alright. Now, I want to explain something to those of you who are wondering why I'm destroying my old shoulders. I mean, a lot of you will understand, but I know some person out there is going to be aghast, like, dude, why did you just break those down? Truth is, I'm a very anal person when it comes to the items I have in my possession. Oops, I forgot he's over there now. Take that. As you can see from my stash, I am very, very organized on how I like to keep my boxes. I've separated the items that I've been keeping according to the primary stat. So this last box is dexterity gear. This one's intelligence for my wizard and witch doctor. So you can see I've got some pieces of jade harvester here. And then I've got my rifts and crafting materials, potions, keyword and stuff, and dyes. And then I've got my gems and legendary gems in the first box. And speaking of dyes, whatever, I'll do that later. I'm getting off topic. Now, the skills for this build are pretty straightforward. You want to use Arcane Orb, Frozen Orb. 393% weapon damage may not seem like much, but when you're getting the increased damage to that from your Triumvirate, and you're using the passive Arcane Dynamo, so it's going to be doing 60% more damage when you get that stacked up to 5 times. You're going to use Magic Missile Glacial Spike. The problem with the wizard is he's very squishy. So how we try and deal with this is we slow enemies, and pairing that with slow time, Delsere's show-stopping number. I just have it set to the exhaustion rune, which it was working wonders for me even before I got Crown of the Primus and my full Delsere. So, but now that I get every rune, so I get that movement speed reduction and cooldown reduction, the 25% less damage taken, my enemies take 50% more damage, enemies that enter or leave the slow time area are stunned for 3 seconds, and then time is sped up for any allies standing in the area, increasing their attack speed by 10%. this is really useful for getting your magic missile stacks up quicker and being able to do more damage with those arcane orbs. I use Black Hole Absolute Zero, 3% increase to cold spells damage that your enemy takes for 10 seconds, and that's each enemy, so it stacks up. For every enemy you hit, it's 3%. But I never seem to get a good group to get hit by this, so I usually only go up to like 4 or 6. But even then, I've noticed my cold spells will do significantly more damage for the duration of that 10 seconds. So, I'm using Magic Weapon, Force Weapon. Without it, I have, I think, base 800,000 or something attack. And as a person who just loves seeing big attack numbers, I have to put it on there for Wizard. A little extra damage never hurts. Energy Armor, Prismatic Armor. I'm using the increased resistance to all damage types. And the reason I'm doing that rather than, say, like, Energy Tap or Force Armor or even Pinpoint Barrier is, with the Glass Cannon passive, it increases all my damage by 15%, but it decreases my armor and resistances by 10%. And my resistances are garbage without energy armor. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm also using Unwavering Will, because you're standing still a lot when you do, when you cast your spells. So, having that extra resistance and armor, again, making up a little for your Glass Cannon passive, and then it's just nice to have. And a 10% damage increase is nothing to sniff at either. And finally, the other passive, because I already mentioned Arcane Dynamo, is we're using Unstable Anomaly. When you receive fatal damage, you heal to 45% of your maximum life, and release a shockwave that knocks back enemies and slows them by 60% for 3 seconds. This paired with slow time and the freeze effects makes your enemies go really slow. My legendary gems, for those of you who are probably wondering about that, I'm using a Beta the Trapped. I maxed that out. It's really good with slow time now. And then I have a Simplicity Strength. As you can see, it's only rank 4. My good Simplicity Strength is in my Witch Doctor, helping out with his Plague of Toads Haunt Zookeeper build, but I'll show you a video of that later. So Simplicity Strength, increasing the skill or the damage of Magic Missile, and then Beta the Trapped, increasing the damage that the enemies you hit with slow time take, and it slows them down even further when they're within 15 yards of you, and that's really nice too. So you're basically, if you can, the Delsere's 2-set bonus, casting Arcane Orb and Magic Missile and Energy Twister and Shock Pulse reduce the cooldown of slow time by 2 seconds. I want to maybe do a little demonstration here. When I do slow time, you see the cooldown started, and then you throw a couple magic missiles and boom, you've got slow time again. That's how that works. That's really helpful. So, when I'm running around and moving, my damage is 945,000, and I've got 14 million toughness. When I stop moving, I bump up to 1,027,323, and I have 18.5 million toughness. And then you pop your energy armor and your magic weapon, and all of a sudden I'm doing almost 1.2 million damage, and I have 25 million toughness. So I do pretty decent with this build. I can't take credit for it though. I saw it on YouTube, so all credit to, I think it was J-How maybe, so shout out to him. I really like his videos, I like what he does. So that is the Delsere Cold Wizard setup. Happy hunting if you don't have the Delsere pieces or the Crown of the Primus. And I will see you all again later when I go over my Witch Doctor build. So until then, peace out, YouTube.